In today's Last Chance Annual Catalog Series video, I am going to show you the perfect parcel for every season. We are going to combine two products that are retiring from our annual catalog, and the two products I'm going to be combining are the Flowers for Every Season paper, designer series paper, which I'll show you is on sale or on Last Chance right now. And we're going to combine what's called the perfect parcel die. I will show you how to cut, assemble, and embellish this perfect parcel, and we'll create some boxes. And therefore, we are calling this video the parcel for every season. All right, well, thank you for joining me, Tina. All right, so here we go. I like to start out this Last Chance series with my showing you in the catalog where this is and the great deal, because I know some of you like to stop and shop while you're watching, or open a new browser tab, right? Okay, so this deal here is a good deal because it's the perfect parcel die, and I'm on page 182. This is our annual catalog that's retiring, right? So May 3rd we're having a new catalog, just so you know, in case you're kind of new to my channel, right? I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Doesn't mean you can't get this in other countries, but you might not get this deal in other countries. I don't know how much this die costs in other countries. I'm telling you about this great deal in the US. So hi, Pamela. All right, so anyway, let's go back to this. So I'm on page 182 of the US catalog, and I'm going to kind of move that in closer. It is $14 instead of $35. Okay, the perfect parcel die. Or it's actually a set of dies, 9 dies. I have only used a few of the dies in the whole set. There used to be, not used to be, but it used to be part of a bundle. But it's not that it used to be. I think there's still a stamp set that goes with this perfect parcel. I've just never used it. Like I've just only, I make the box. I've made these for my friend's christening, party favors. I've made these for gifts. I mean, just that's what I do with it. All right, so I'm going to show you the dies in a second. And this is the paper we're using. Oh, you just ordered one, Tina? Cool, good for you. The paper I'm using is Flowers for Every Season, designer series paper, and it's now $6.90 instead of $11.50. All right, wow, a lot of people just joined me in there. So we also have Joanne. Hello, Joanne, Denise, and Diana. All right, so those are the two products I'm using. Oh, and that was on page 148, the designer series paper. Now, you know what? This paper has, like, the coordinating colors are the ink colors that are going to be around for another year. So that's cool, right? The ink colors aren't retiring. So if you get this paper, you can still use the inks and everything for, well, not that you can't ever use the inks. You can use the inks till your ink pads dry out, but you know what I mean. You can still get all the inks. The inks that go with that paper are the ink colors. These are ink colors that are around for another year. We're getting another set of ink colors. I'll try to get into the colors when I do some stamping later. All right, so what I'm going to do is show you the boxes, but I'm not showing you what's inside because I like to save what's inside my boxes till the end of my videos. It's just one of the things I do when I'm doing a scan and cut video, or whether I'm doing a Last Chance video or ink it up. I like to open up my boxes later. Now, I didn't put stuff in every box. This is my really heavy box. I only put stuff in maybe two of the boxes. Yeah, two of the boxes in a tag tree. Okay, so this would be this one we're going to make now. Something similar to this. Okay. And I used I snuck in a couple other retiring products. You might recognize those. Okay. This is one that I embellished. This will be the fall box when you use the sunflower paper. Here's one I embellished, a Christmas, holiday season box. And of course, I love my moose. My moose is just Mr. Moose. There's a moose punch. I hope we still have that. I don't know. I think it was in the holiday catalog. This is one that would be I guess it could be summery. And then this is summery. Now put something in this one. I used one of the butterflies. Okay, so those are the ones I made so far. I mean, I'm still at it. Here's one that I cut in case I have a problem. I mean, with the I'm gonna cut one and assemble it for you, but not if I have a problem. Actually, I just like to teach you maybe how to assemble two of them. So I did cut an extra one in case. So we only have to cut one, but I have another one cut. All right, now let's talk about the dies. Now, the great thing about this die is that you can cut two pieces of designer series paper at once with it. Actually, you probably could cut more, but I wouldn't recommend cutting more than two, because if you cut more than two, You might cut into your creases, and then when you fold the paper later, it could rip. But you can cut through 2 pieces, and then you can make 1 box. You need 2 pieces to make 1 box. And don't do what I've done in the past by putting the paper like this. You need to make sure the paper's in the same upright direction. Or it doesn't have to be upright, but I'm saying make sure your paper's in the same orientation, I should say. Okay? When you cut your boxes. We'll talk about the orientation in a minute. Okay, this is the dies. These are the dies. So even if you just got the dies like I did, like you don't care about the stamp set, you only got the dies for this reason, to make boxes, because I love making boxes. Okay, and to make little embellishments. If that's all you do, these are the only ones, except for one more. I used one more. I've only used 4 dies in this entire set. Some of them are still stuck to the package I'm going to show you. Okay, if that's all you do, this die is worth it. This whole thing. Hi Denise and hi Jackie. So here are the dies. I usually put them on magnetic plates, but I only use, like I said, I only use these, so I just kept it in the case. So it comes like this, and look what else you get. Like I said, they're still taped to my package. Never used them. I mean, they're cool, right? All kinds of little things to do with those embellishments. You can put little things through your boxes, right? You want to cut them in cardstock, put little neat things throughout them. Okay, but this one, this die here is kind of like the best hidden secret in this little set. So these are the only dies I've used. And I've had it for probably a couple years because it was in last year's catalog. I've had it for a while. I don't know, maybe a year. I don't remember how long I've had it. See this? Remember my tag treats? Hi, Carolyn. I mean, if you guys are familiar with my channel, you've seen my tag treats. My tag treats that I'm always making with punches. Well, some people can't use punches because of arthritis or whatever. Maybe you guys have some kind of electronic machine that cuts through. Well, you can use this to make your tag treats. It doesn't cut the edges, so it cuts whatever size paper you put in there. And then you can make this little tag treat. Okay, so that's all you can do with the parcel dies. I mean, these are all the things you can do with the parcel dies. Perfect parcel. Perfect. Here, let's see what it's called. Is it dies, plural? Yes, perfect parcel dies, even though the main attraction is this die. So what you do, so the sandwich, let's move these. I don't want to move them totally out of the way because they're pretty to look at. So let's put them over there. Okay. Pretty stuff. We'll put those over there. All right, so I need to bring my machine in. You can't use the mini, in case you're wondering. Can't use the mini. I've tried it. Can't use the mini machine. You must use the regular stamp, cut, and embossing machine. This is one of those machines that's great to get with the starter kit, right? Like as your starter kit item, because you get free shipping on the starter kit. It's a big ticket item, but you know what? It's like it's an item that you'll use forever. Okay, so I open up the platform. Now what you do is you got to look at the sandwich. This is a sandwich, meaning you always start with the plate number 1, and we call this a die cutting sandwich when you put down the plate number 1, and it gives you instructions of what to do, right? Thanks, Tina. I'm glad you like my boxes. Okay, it says plate number 1. Then it says this. It says use number 2 when you're using thin dies. This is the thin die adapter, so that's number 2. That's part of the sandwich. Okay, so whenever you're using thin dies, now you need 2 number 3s to sandwich the die and the paper between. Okay, so that's what you need. Plate number 1, because it's a thin die, you need plate number 2. This is what a thin die is, right? You're gonna need a plate number 3. Now normally you would have like your scratch plate number 3 down the bottom, but I keep moving my plates around in different directions, and so now they're both become bottom plates. I take turns using them at the bottom so that they don't warp, right? So it doesn't really matter. You just need 2 plate 3s. One of the plate 3s is going to have, that facing down, okay? And then that facing up. Now all we need left is the paper, so I want to tell you what's the top and what's the bottom of this box. Because if the paper matters. Now if your paper matters, an orientation of your paper, you're going to put the paper in there. And if it matters which way the paper goes, I don't really think it does. It's a bunch of, yeah. See, I'm going to call that facing up, this paper. So you would think that side is the top, but it's not. This little curly. The little side with the arrow, I'm just going to say, use the arrow. That's how I do it. I have to look at it every single time. Use the arrow to know that you're facing up. That's the top of the box. Okay? What do I mean? Because those little things become these little flaps on the sides of the box. So this is the top of the box. So you want to make sure you have your paper in the right orientation when you cut your die. The other thing you want to do is, because this is there's no forgiving. This is only 6 inches across exactly. and that's how big your plate is, you don't want this to slip off, because believe me, I've done it. The only reason I'm telling you things is I've done them. If this slips off, then you have no flaps to glue. You have no flaps. Okay, so I'm doing a couple things right now that are little tips and tricks for die cutting. One is I'm taping the die down so that I don't cut off my flaps when this slips, if it's going to slip. The other thing I'm doing is making sure I have a pretty daisy on the side of my box. The side of my box is this giant panel here, and I want to make sure I center my die to get the prettiest pattern possible in there. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And now I'm going to put my top plate. Okay, I'm cutting through 2 pieces at once. Don't try to cut 3. So if you cut 3, the third piece becomes brittle, and you could end up like not having. And don't worry about that cracking noise. You're gonna end up having like a seam, and it'll crack, and you'll be like, oh, how come my paper cracked along the seam? Okay, so that's all there is to it. Hopefully that's the only die cutting we're gonna do, because I've already, but you get the idea. I mean, we'll do something with this. It depends on how long my tutorial goes, but I might do die cutting with this tag. But I'm saying the only thing I'm going to do with this box, I'm going to assemble 2 boxes because I've already pre-cut one. Okay, so kind of like, that's what I mean. I'm only going to cut one of these to show you, and then we're going to assemble it, and then we'll assemble the other. Take that off. Okay, it went all the way through, and it even cut a little bit at the edge. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Now, save these scraps. These are great scraps for all kinds of reasons, as you know. Bookmarks, tags, etc. All right, let's get rid of these plates. Now we're going to start assembling. So here's what you need to do. And this got a little bit, because it was a little too close to, like I said, a little too close to the edge. I have to kind of, fix that a little bit, but that's okay. So you have these score lines. So what you're going to do is, the first thing you're going to do is fold along all the score lines. And this perfect parcel die could also be called like a mystery box, because it took me so long to figure it out that I'm going to call it a mystery box. But it's not going to take you long to figure it out, because I can do these in my sleep now, and I'm going to show you how to make it simple. So you're folding along all the score lines, and I'm folding in for now. In along all the score lines for now. Not all the score lines. I'm not worried about the triangle one yet. The one that points up, the top of the box. I'm only worried about these score lines. Okay? So let's fold along. Now you can use what's called tear and tape. If you're not going to adhere them now, like you want to take them on the road, maybe you're going to do these for a wedding, and you're traveling, you're going to be on an airplane, and you're going to a wedding, and when you get there, you're going to assemble all the party favors. Then you would use tear and tape, and you can just kind of adhere them later. But I'm going to use glue, because I like the way that glue works. It kind of is forgiving. So when I like using liquid glue, because then I can kind of like move the box into place if it starts getting out of place. Okay, so I'm going to put liquid glue along the flaps. And I'm just going to use my hand. I'm sorry, I'm a messy crafter. That's just the way I am. I have to use my hands. Okay, so I'm spreading out the glue. Say the glue's on the flap. So now I don't want to do the other side just yet, because I have to get this one, wiggle and jiggle it. Okay, so now what you want to do is, you're going to like lay these against each other. Fold them like this. Okay? And then you want to wiggle and wiggle, and it's not going to line up on top. It's going to have a little weird thing like that. Like, see how that sticks out? So don't push it up at the top, and the way you know is this. You're like, you got to line up those score lines again. You're like, that's why I say to use liquid glue, because it helps you. See, it's already dry and solid. There we go. There we go. See what I mean? Line up those score lines. Don't try to line up the top of the box, because this doesn't line up. Okay? So you want to line it up like that. I'm getting some better lighting in here to make sure for this assembly. And I'll let you guys look at anyone who just came in gets to look at the pretty boxes while I'm doing this. Give you embellishing ideas. All right. Yeah, our hands are the best tools, like you're saying. All right. Hello, Susan. Denise. Hello, Yvonne. All right, so now we're going to just do this side. Right? And we're going to we just lay it, just lay it like that. Put a little bit of glue. Here, I have to hold it up so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Just want to make sure it's even. What's that little guy hanging off there? Okay. Now the second one is easy because this one's easy because that one just, it naturally falls where it goes. Okay, so let's do another one. Just that part. Because I already have it cut out. Reinforcement, you might get to see it at a different angle. I'll do it a little faster as I'm talking. And as you can see, this paper is going to be good for every season. So the nice thing about this paper is that you can make these, store the boxes flat, right? And then you can use them later. So that's what I like. I'm gonna save these ones. That's why I didn't stuff candy in them. I only stuff candy in the spring and summer ones that I'm gonna use right away. In fact, I think Diane is getting one of these. She's one of the host code winners, and she ordered this die. So she'll get one of my samples today with her prize, because I haven't sent her prize yet. And I hope I didn't spoil the surprise. No, I didn't spoil the surprise because this isn't actually part of her prize. It's a bonus. It's a bonus, right? It's not like that was her actual prize. But while I'm shipping stuff, I like to add little extra things. But then the Christmas ones and the fall one, I'm going to save till later. Okay? So what I'm doing is I'm just doing it faster because we already talked about how to do this. And I'm just doing it as I'm talking here. And just sort of watch me in real time here. So far, so good. This is the same as assembling any box, right? Any box ever kind of has little flaps usually of some kind. You know from my box making course, if you took my box making course, we're always making little flaps. You have to have something to adhere to. Now, personally, I would have made bigger flaps because they're easier to, adhere. So that's so far, so good. We've scored. We have natural score. We've trained the paper, and this part's dry now. So the first one's dry, so I can go to the first one, and I can mess with it. Now, this is the bottom of the box. We call it the mystery box. You have to start looking at your bottom of your cracker boxes now. You're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's how they're put together. Like, I have these little box I got of crackers, and they're kind of put together the same way. So what you want to do is you want to take these flaps. See how there's a score line, and you want to flap, put them away from you like that, and then do the other one. There's a score line. So you're going to put it away from you. So now the trick to these is you're going to adhere this to this, believe it or not. You're going to adhere this flap to this little piece. So let's get the glue. You got to do one at a time. When you try to do two at a time, it doesn't work because you can't get your hand in there to dry it. The first one's easy. So far, so good. Okay, first one's going to be easy because look, you can see and you have all the space. So the first one to adhere is just like this. You just stick it down there. And you adhere it to the small flap, and you could sort of hold your hand there, and you have all this room to work with, right? No problem. And it's dry in a minute, no problem. The second one, though, you're going to be like, what in the world were they thinking? But it comes together so easy that you're going to be like, it's brilliant. Then you're going to say, wow, it's brilliant. But at first you're going to be like, who was thinking of this? What were they thinking? All right, so that's easy. Got it? That's what we're doing. We're adhering. Now we got to adhere this flap to the little one there. But this little guy's in the way. And it's going to stay in the way because it has to stay in the way for a moment. We'll get it out of the way later, but you can't get it out of the way yet. So now we're going to get in there. And you can't really get in there. So you can kind of do this, and you can do this, but that's not even the way the box is going to close. You can try to do this, but instead, I just say, get in there with your hand and hold it for a second underneath like this. This is what my advice is. Don't try to do the tucking yet. Get in there underneath like with your hand like this and get that second flap to stop. That's how I do it. And you might be wondering, why aren't you tucking now? Well, you can't tuck now. If you start tucking now before that's sealed, you can't tuck. No tucking because this has to dry. So now let's go ahead and do the other one a little faster and let that kind of hang out while we're doing this one. Okay, we're going to bend those flaps. There's a score line, natural score line, bending the flap, bending the flap. If you already have the parcel dies, go ahead and write in the comment if you already have the parcel dies. And if you've ever made them, go ahead and say if you made them, and maybe if you use tear and tape or What did you make? What did you hold it together with? I'm using glue so that I can wiggle and jiggle it into place. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of them right now. I should have only done 1, but I had a habit of putting glue on 2, so but I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to I don't want it in the way, that glue. I'm going to go like this. Don't butt it up against the side of the box. Don't try to go, oh, these should line up. They shouldn't line up, actually. There's a little bit of a space there. I'm just trying to get the light in there so you can see that. See? A little bit of a space. Don't try to push this up, because if you do, the box is too short. I've done that. Okay? I've held it there, no problem. Now I'm going to get in there and do this one. Leaving that out of the way. I'm getting under there. I'm getting under there like this with my hand. And I'm doing that second one. See? I'm sealing it. Oops, it didn't seal. I have to hold it there. Yeah, I know, Pamela, right? It's a crazy little, I call it the mystery box. I sat there like scratching my head and everything. But I was like, I did see the example. See, there's an example. And I do know how to I actually design boxes. That's kind of what I do. I design boxes with software. But it was just still like a mystery to me. But here, I'll show you, there's an assembled box back here. And you're like, see? The little flap. There's a little flap, and you can tell that's the top of the box because it tucks in the side. So it does give you in the catalog a picture of the assembled box. All right, now, here's the trick. That's not the top of the box. This is the bottom of the box. These 2 things we did. But here's the trick. Now that they're dry, make sure they're completely dry. Don't try to wiggle and jiggle this whole thing until you get this. These 2 flaps have to be dry. Okay? So that has to be dry and that has to be dry. Now don't do this. You're not going to do this. It seems like you would just go, oh, I'm done. No, you're not done. You're not even close to being done. Okay, this is not how you shut the bottom of the box. If you do, you put treats in there and they all fall right out. Okay? You need to secure the bottom of your box. You're going to push, and maybe it'll make a clicking sound, maybe it won't, but watch. Watch how I do this. I'm going to push in there. Push. Now, I'm not done yet. This has to go all the way under. All the way under. See that? All the way under there. This one has to go all the way under. Those flaps disappear. See that? They disappear. And now that they disappear, it can be tucked under like that. And there's the reason I was telling you not to go all the way up to the edges with that little piece there. Because if you go all the way up to the edges, then you can't, then your boxes won't shut right. And that's how you get the bottom of the box. Now look at that. You can stuff it. I usually go and push something in there. You push down in there. You can stuff it and it won't come open. Okay? It won't fall out. Nothing will fall at the bottom. It's very secure. Now look at the bottom. I always do this now. Look at the bottom of your food boxes. Cracker boxes, etc. A lot of them are put together like this at the bottom. And when you look inside, they sort of have that contraption. All right, let's do this one. Okay, it's all dry. That's not the top. This is the bottom of the box, so we got to secure it. We're going to push. Push. All the way down there till these long flaps get all buried. Okay, the long flaps are gone. It's all buried under there. Yeah, I know. You might need an engineering degree for that one. That's funny. I'm cracking up, Yvonne. All right, so now we'll do the top of the box. Gosh, that was the only tricky part of this whole thing. Now let's do the tops of the boxes. No glue needed. Now you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I love these boxes because no glue is needed. Now you got to go outwards. So you got to go outwards like this. So you got to you're going to go like this and this. So you're pointing, and I do have glue all over my hands still, but it's kind of dry glue, so it's not going to leave too many fingerprints all over my boxes. So now you're just doing this and this. You're folding. Okay? And that's how easy the top of the box is. The top of the box is a snap. You just kind of want to you're folding along the score lines. Bada boom, bada boom. Let's see. That's it. What did I do there? Oh, I made my own score line. I made my own score line. This will be, there we go. And then you tuck it. Hear that little click? Click. There's a little slit. Look at that cool little slit on the side. Cool little slit. Click. That made a clicking sound. Bada boom. The box is done. Okay? So we'll do the other one. And I think I made my own score line there. Sometimes I make things up as I go. I should have used the score. There was a score line there, and I kind of made my own. Okay, let's do this one. We'll do this little holiday box. So this Flowers for Every Season uses the 5 ink colors. So this is Magenta Madness and all that. But it also uses an extra color. It uses Poppy Parade. That's where this red is. That bright red, it's a Poppy Parade. But it does use the Just Jade. You can see the Just Jade. The Magenta Madness, the Poppy Parade. I got to fold along the score line. I think I forgot earlier. Poppy Parade, Just Jade, Magenta Madness. Oh, Misty Moonlight, Misty Moonlight. Bumblebee color. That's the yellowish color is the Bumblebee color. And did I say everything? Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee. Oh, Cinnamon Cider. It uses, this is Cinnamon Cider. So those are the coordinating colors. And there you go. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Bada boom. So that's how you assemble. It is such a cute box. It's such an easy box. Okay? So we're gonna take the box now and we're going to open up the box. Okay? And you can put stuff, you can go like that, and you got to do this first before you try to put stuff in it. Don't try to put stuff in it and then try to shut it. I mean, and get these little parts to fold and train your box first. So now someone has a reusable box, and I think pretty much they'll understand how to open it when they get it. I think they're going to understand how to open it. So, but let's do this. Let's take this box and go like this. We're going to take these pieces, right? And we're going to, I just got to push them out. Push, push, push. See? Push, push, push. And you can push them out. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just going to show you how to shut it again. So if your box is like this, and you start putting stuff in it, this is what I want to show you. And it starts falling out the bottom, and you're like, see that? This is I've actually done this. That's why I have to do this. I have to show you this. Okay, so you put something in there, and you're like, wow, I don't know what I did, and the stuff's falling out the bottom, and there goes all my little jelly beans, right? Stuff's falling out the bottom. That's why I did that. I pushed it back out. So you have to make sure that you don't leave your bottom hanging. Don't leave your bottom hanging like that thinking, oh, there's a little flap. That should do it. No, that's not going to do it. This little flap doesn't hold anything shut. And you could, by the way, you could collapse these again, but I'm not collapsing them. Okay. Here. You got to push it all the way down there. All the way down under there. And then it's secure. So those long pieces are hidden under there. And so that's what the inside of your box looks like when you're all done. And you can just, refer back to this video. I'm not taking it off YouTube. All right, so now let's show you this. So you could put a little contraption on it. This is an antique slider. Antique sliders are also, they should be. I did a video last week on the World of Good. In the World of Good suite. And these little antique corners and sliders are in that suite. Okay. So you can put that on there. This is the cinnamon cider ribbon. Okay. What I'm doing now is embellishing, by the way, just so you know what I'm doing. I put a Merry Moose on there, colored with crumb cake blends. Peace on Earth and Misty Moonlight. Okay, and then we used, for this one, we're going to embellish our little box right now. We're using Lovely You stamp set. This is not retiring, by the way. I don't think it is. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. That's the Just Because. Okay. For this one, I used You're the Best. I used, what's that one? The Tailored, Well-Tailored, Well-Suited, Well-Tailored, something like that. But this one, You're My Person. That's the one I want to decorate right now. So we're going to do You're My Person. Well, we're not going to actually do the we're actually going to just show you where that was. Here. We'll do the daisy, though. You're My Person is the die. Whisper white paper. Okay. And we'll do the daisy. Because I just want to show you with the daisy punch. That's all. Then maybe I'll do the tag treat because it's 29 minutes. So I don't make this super long. But I could do the tag treat pretty quick. Okay. So we're going to go daisy. You're going to take your extra scraps of paper and the medium daisy punch. If you have a large daisy punch, it'll work too, but I'm using the medium daisy punch. You always need to punch 2 daisies out. Then you always take when you use the punches, you always take it doesn't matter if you have the medium or large daisy. take a little spatula, bone folder. I use my little Scan and Cut spatula. And you want to curl the paper like that for your daisy. Because it just kind of makes the daisy look 3D. And you put a little drop of glue on it, on the bottom one. It doesn't matter which one's the top, which one's the bottom. Just a little dab of glue. And then you're going to put the daisy together and move it around a little bit. And then wiggle it, jiggle it. That's why I always like to use glue when I touch my daisies. But sometimes I use, if I want to make them really thick, I use a dimensional. Okay, so there's my cute little daisy. And I can do some curling again if I want to train it so that they stay together. So that they're not all gnarly. But in nature, they don't stay together. So that's kind of cool. Then I took a little gem. You know, you just take whatever embellishments you have. And I'm using, well, here, I don't know if you guys are able to get those other things. And these are retired too. I use some retired gemstones, and these are also retired. But if you don't have the retired ones, like maybe you're not a craft hoarder like me, then you can use these. These are current. These are called opal rounds. Stick those in the middle of your daisy. But I'm going to go ahead and stick one of these in there. Little gold one. These are called designer elements. Okay? But I mean, you can use whatever you have. Use whatever you have. And that's it. So you're going to put that on your box. And then we'll do a little bit of stamping, and then we'll do the other part. So that's going to go like that. Looking cute. You can add some Wink of Stella. Make that pretty. All right, so let's do this. I just want to do this little part. And this I could use the mini machine for, but I don't have the mini machine here. It's not that it's not here in my craft room. It's just not here within arm's reach. So I do need to take this machine again. I just want to show you the little tag treat. How to make this little tag treat. Okay, so I already have the paper cut. The paper is 5 inches by 1.5. 5 inches by 1.5. And you can do 2 of these at once. Same thing before. Bottom plate, plate number 1, right? Thin die adapter, plate number 2, plate number 3. And you put that down. And you have to do 2 at once, because otherwise they're not going to line up when you make your tag treat, right? You're going to do 2 at once. You're going to do that for your die. And you're going to tape it. Always tape it. Okay? And it does leave a little seam there. It does leave a little seam, I will say that. But it doesn't really matter for the treat. It looks really cute. And where's my top plate? Here it is. Okay, let's see. Sometimes you want to put things in so they're not... There we go. Oh, I know why it wasn't coming out. I forgot to put the other side of the machine down. I forgot to put that little flap. I'm like, why isn't it cranking? All right, so that's good. Now we're going to make a cute little tag treat. Do a little bit of stamping with the Lovely You. Okay, so you got your tag, and that's how you make. So now I'm not saying you don't ever need a punch again, but a punch has a fixed size. Think about it, right? Now, the reason I purposely didn't do this at 2 inches, I didn't make this 2 inches on purpose, because I have a 2-inch punch. I wanted to make a treat that was a different size, so I made it 1.5 inches. See, it does leave the little seam there, and you can make that the inside if you want. Here, see how it puts a little seam there? But that, I mean, it's a little mark there, but I'm going to turn them over, hide that part. All right, so now we're going to do a little stamping with the Lovely You. Here's the Lovely You stamp set. We'll do here's what I have. You're My Person. Here I have a little Just Jade, with a little bit of that, and a bumblebee, Magenta Madness, flower, and a You're My Person. Well, we don't need the You're My Person because you get that part. All I did for that part was put that on here, right? We made one of these, and I put You're My Person on it. Actually, no, I used a different one. Here's You're My Person. This one. I used this die from here. That one I might have used the Stitch So Sweetly dies. Okay, so we're going to stick a little Just Jade on there. We're going to open it up, and we're going to do some stamping onto the mat, and then we can stamp onto here. Okay, stamp onto the mat, stamp onto there. This is just a little, that's a nice color. Or go ahead and do some with the regular color. I mean, go ahead and do some without stamping off, meaning make some dark. It's okay. Make some sticking out down the bottom if you want. We're gonna do that part. We're gonna score that part, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, done with the Just Jade. Let's get out some Bumblebee. We'll do the Magenta Madness next. Always do your biggest stamp first. Then go with your, we'll do Magenta Madness. Then do your next stamp. We'll do that for the, we'll put the little Bumblebee on there. We're going to use this one. We're going to do Magenta Madness next. Stamp off, stamp on. It's kind of like the Karate Kid movie. Wax on, wax off. Stamp on, stamp off. Or if you want to go ahead and stamp directly onto it, it does look pretty dark, and that's fine too. And that's going to be kind of hidden at the bottom. It's going to be covered. That part's going to be covered, meaning you're not going to see the bottom of this. Okay? Then I'm going to put on the Bumblebee. So we are making our own tag treat without a punch. Kind of fun. I'm opening the Bumblebee. Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. And anyone else that came in. Denise, I don't know if I said hello because I was crafting. We're moving that out of the way. We're going to do some Bumblebee. And it kind of looks like a little crown. See? It's just so cute. This one you can stamp on and then stamp off. It doesn't really matter. These are nice both directly and indirectly. Put some up there. See? Just pops of color everywhere. A little bit sticking out the bottom. Again, I'm covering up the bottom. All right. So that's how you do it. And that's the in colors. And this is Lovely You. So now you got to score the bottom because we're doing a little tag treat. We're going to score the bottom. These were 1.5 inch, by the way. We're going to go like that. I mean, these were 1.5 inch wide. I'm sorry. See how they're 1.5 inch wide? Now we're scoring 1 inch in the bottom. Okay, so they were 1.5 inch wide, but we're scoring 1 inch down there. I'll put this in the description. Right? 1 inch. 1 inch. Now you're gonna, the reason I just mentioned the things is because now you need the little strip of paper. I just have a little strip of paper 3/4 inch wide. And you're gonna score it at, so think about it. This is 1.5, right? So we're gonna score it at 1.5. But these are 1 inch around the side. So 2.5. Then we need another 1.5 inches. So 3.5, 4. We need 4. And then we need another inch. Why? Because this is our wrap. This is our wrap. And when you do a wrap, you're going to wrap it in the distance that you scored it. So these are 1.5, right? Then 1 on the sides, right? That makes sense. 1.5. And this is my extra flap. You don't even need such a big extra flap. But I had a 6 inch piece of paper, maybe a 1/2 inch flap. I mean, it doesn't matter how big your flap is, but here, let's try to cut a straight line. You just need a little flap. You could have left it there. Actually, here, I'm just going to use liquid glue only because my hands are so sticky that I'm already got glue all over my hands. So always do this first. Do your little belly band. Now, don't use liquid glue for this part. I mean, you can use it for the bottom part, but don't use it for the sides. I'll show you. So you're going to use it for the bottom part. Okay. See? You fold along the score down. You're going to use it for like this. See? You're going to use liquid glue. I made this one much taller, huh? Maybe it wasn't supposed to be 5 inches. Huh. I think it was supposed to be 4. Well, what do you know? That looks cute anyway. Huh, I just measured it differently. My original one was 4 inches for these strips. Oh, wait, maybe, I'm sorry. I think I used the wrong, I had some cut. Yeah, I think they're supposed to be 4 inches by 1.5. We'll write it down once I figure it out. But I think it looks kind of cool tall. And it really doesn't matter, right? All right, so now you're going to take, after you do the bottom, you glue the bottom, you're going to lay it there. And you're going to put some rolling adhesive here. So you can use glue too. I'm just using snail. No, not snail. Seal Plus. It's called Seal Plus. Hi, Eileen. Hey, you like these? You like these boxes? Okay, so see what I'm doing? This is my 3/4 inch little belly band. And I'm pushing it down. Yeah, it's no longer a mystery box. If it was a mystery box before, it's no longer a mystery box. Hey, I'm kind of liking it tall. I'm going to probably use the instructions for the tall one. I kind of like how it came out tall. You can actually, it kind of looks cool. All right, so that's that. You're going to take your, okay, I got to get rid of my scoreboard. That's called Simply, that little tool I just used was called Simply Scored, by the way. Let's move these out of the way. And now we're going to take a piece of, we'll just take a piece of, let's choose 2 colors. I think ribbon is easier to cut when you have 2 colors. That's what I think. When you have 2 colors together. Because it's just easier to cut through with my paper snips. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Magenta Madness and the Just Jade. Okay. Yeah. You could put suckers in there. Thank you. Susan's not calling us all suckers. She's saying this would make a good sucker box. Okay, and then you can put this through there. It's going to be kind of hard to put 2 ribbons through. So do one at a time. I usually put 1 ribbon through. Oh, by the way, did you see how I folded the ribbon like that? Like you would see like sort of the Cancer Tribute ribbon. Kind of fold it like that. And then kind of push it through like that. So it kind of, I should have done that slower, but when I teach things, sometimes I do things fast, but you want that little hole like that. And then you want the ribbons to go through the hole. See? See how they lay flat that way? I can just get ribbon shape. Oh, I like it. I like having 2 ribbons instead of 1. I did it earlier with 1 ribbon, but I like having 2 ribbons. So here, what I did is, I didn't need so much ribbon, by the way. I don't really ever measure, but I didn't need so much ribbon. But what I did is, to put it through, is I took the 2 pieces of ribbon, and I went like this to get it through the box. So I went like that. So here, like that. So that's how I put it through the box. I make it go like that first, and then I put it through the box. Yeah, I know what you mean. You hate to say dum-dums, but you're saying, like, that's why you say suckers, yeah, instead of the candies. But I kind of like it tall. But what I was putting in mine is I was putting, you know, the Tic Tacs, because that's kind of, I always get these by the case here. See? But now, you're right. You could put it, and you could put something between them. I probably could put 3 of these in there. No, I can only put 2, but I could put in this direction. And so that's what I put in mine. I put 2 little mini Tic Tacs in mine. So that's what you could do with, that's what that little piece was. It doesn't cut the edges. It's one of those dies that doesn't have an edge. There's no sharpness on it. It just cuts a tag topper. Okay, so that's what that's for. Well, I don't know if it's for this. That's what I use it for. It's probably for making a bookmark. All right, so now let's open up the boxes. As I promised at the end of this video, I said I'm going to open up the boxes that I have stuff in. All right, I only have stuff in a couple of them, but we'll put these back so you can get all the pretty ideas for pretty boxes. So we had our slider, the antique slider, and then we have our little daisy. That's one embellishment, or daisies, put that on there. Now we have this one. This is the butterfly. This is Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper. It had some Magenta Madness in it. But I don't know if it had Magenta Madness in the paper, but I don't know if that's what that is. But either way, I just grabbed that paper to put a butterfly on it. So you can fit Godiva chocolates in there. Godiva chocolate pearls. I buy these in bulk. Like I buy these in bulk, and so it fits perfectly in there. But it was a little hard to shut the box with it in there. So what I had to do for that one is I had to stick my spatula under there to grab it, to get this to go under, because it's so tight in there. But it fits perfect. See, I had to get under there with my spatula. But it's no big deal. See, so those fit in there. Godiva pearls. And now, wait till you see how many little chocolates I just put in this one. So I found for the Easter season, by the way, happy Easter. I know I didn't get on during Easter, but I hope you had a blessed Easter. I put antique sliders there. I put the daisy there. I put You're My Person. But check this out. Look at these. I found these Dove chocolates. And look how many fit in here, just to give you an idea. I could have probably fit more, but let's count how many I put in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 Dove chocolates, and I probably could have put more, but I needed to have a little room to tuck that in. Okay? So as promised, I tell you what I put in there. Oh, was there 16? 1, 2, 3. Well, there's 15 right now, but I could fit 16. Okay, so either way, because I could have done the layers. I just wanted to have a little bit of wiggle room to tuck the sides in. So that's what you can put in your boxes. That's you have lots of room to put stuff in your boxes. I tried to put the Ghirardellis. They were a little tight. They had to be at an angle, I think. I tried Ghirardelli and they had to be at an angle. So now you know how to decorate the boxes. And make boxes for every season. Store them flat. Okay, hi Shelly. Store them flat. Assemble them later. Use tear and tape if you don't want any. If you just want to get the adhesive off later, using like take your pick tool and the tear and tape, and then you can get them off later. So that's how you can work with those. I didn't get to show you all the designer series paper because I don't really have a full pack of it because I need to buy some more myself. But like this is the paper, just so you know. Like this is the flowers for every season. I have it bulk. Like and by the way, if you're a demonstrator watching this, you can buy this bulk, and that's also on sale for the bulk people. But the bulk ones, just so you know, the bulk designer series paper doesn't give you all the designs. You only get like 4 designs in your bulk designer series paper, whereas this is the original pack has more designs in it. It has like more of the patterns. Yeah, so I think this is the bulk one I'm using. So I can't really show you what a regular pack looks like because I don't have a regular pack because I just don't have any left because I've been using it for so long. Oh, wait, is this it? Nope, 48. Because you're not going to get, wait, are you going to get 48 sheets? Maybe this is the regular. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if this is bulk or regular. Flowers for every season, 48. Yeah, this is the regular. Wait, I can show you the patterns. I do have a pack of this. I was thinking I was using the bulk, but I'm not because the bulk has 80 sheets in it. So this is actually what it looks. Now I can show you what the paper looks like. So here's one piece. Okay. Can you hear the darn roosters? They can hear me talking and they're trying to get me to feed them. Okay, there's another piece. Okay. Okay, there we go. So these are all the pretty, oh wow. I'm glad I have a pack of this. You know how excited I am to just discover that I had a pack of this? I really only thought I had the bulk paper, which I thought I was limited in my designs. But I'm glad to discover that I have a whole pack left. But I'm definitely stocking up on it because you know what? It's so versatile. It's like, look at this. I mean, for Christmas time, I mean, it's just versatile paper. You got winter flowers, you got spring flowers, you got fall. I mean, and then if you just want to just do regular, like, you know, cards, you have all these sort of plain sides just to use for card backgrounds. And, you know, who doesn't love designer series paper that's double-sided? All right, so now I really am done. And I always like to end these last chance ones with the pages again because I like to end where I began, which is that this perfect parcel is only $14 instead of $35. And, of course, if you're a demonstrator, you also get your 20% discount or 25 depending on, you know, what discount level you're at. So, I mean, hello, right? No, I'm not back to liking florals, Donna. I'm back to liking versatile papers. I give everything away. I know that Donna's like, but you don't really like floral. It's not that I dislike florals. I'm sick of florals. I'm sick of them, but I love when there's a great deal. I'm sick of them because they put like, every time we get a new catalog, it's like 8 out of 10 products are florals. I'm like, what about all my whimsical cute things like my whales? Like we're already out of whale paper. Completely sold out. My favorite paper, gone. I wanted to cry, but I love this paper. See, I like this better than florals. World of Good. I like this better than florals. I like this better because it's more of like leaves. In fact, I like everything better. Except, yeah. But you know what? This one's $6. This ornate garden is only $6. So, of course, I'm stocking up for it. Because what do? The other people like florals, obviously, or we would not be making so many. Other people love florals. And what do I do with these boxes? I give them away. And people I give them to like florals. So it's not about me. It's never about you and your crafting. It's about who you're giving it to and the kind of things that they like, right? And we're all crafters. We like good deals. So, okay. So I hope you, right? Asanka, hello, Asanka. And I'm just going to read some comments before I get offline. All right. Okay. on my soapbox. Oh no, I'm a soap maker. I thought you said I'm on my soapbox. Brownwin. I almost read. I thought you said I'm on my soapbox. You said I'm a soap maker. Oh my gosh, this is perfect for soap makers. So, where do you find this stuff? Okay, so you were asking where you find it. This is, so if you just came on, this is paperchef.stampinup.net, and in the description is the comments. And the paper, the paper we're using is on page 148, but you don't need a catalog to buy it. It's all online. It's all online, like at my store. And the perfect parcel we just used is perfect parcel dies. Linked in the description. That's my website. That's where you find it. All right. I'm sorry. I'm cracking up. Okay, so hi, Tina. Let's see. Debbie, Susan, Asanka, Sandy. Okay, she wrote, sometimes just seeing the paper online isn't the same as when you're actually showing it. Yes, that's why I'm so glad I found a pack to show you, which I didn't even know I had. I thought I was using the bulk paper. So, Donna, Tracy. All right. So I'm happy all you guys came and joined me. I appreciate you guys, and hope you have a great day. And now you know how to make the perfect parcel for every season. That's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.